Alright, it's John here from bandrescue.com. I'm here with Fredrik Åkesson from Opeth, and also formerly you played for Arch Enemy, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
So we're here on the Progressive Nation Tour. We're in Atlanta, Georgia. They're out with Dream Theater, Between the Buried and Me, and 3. So how's everything going so far with the tour?
It's been going really good, I think. We're at the end of it now. We only have 5 shows left, and it's been a blast. We got to play in front of a lot of people. Probably hasn't seen Opeth before.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of Opeth fans showed up too. But it's been very good for us. The Dream Theater guys been really nice. Actually got to jam out with John Petrucci the other day, and that was really cool.
That's nice.
And the other 2 bands, 3 and Between the Bird and Me, they're really good too, I think.
Now, had you heard, obviously you've heard Dream Theater before this tour. Had you heard Between the Buried and Me and 3 before you came out on this? You haven't? So you've liked it so far, cool guys?
I'm definitely going to pick up their CDs.
Cool. I can definitely recommend the newest Between the Buried and Me. It's a very good album.
All the bands on this bill, they are very into the music, and it's very cool to see all the bands play.
Now you've been in Opeth for about a year now. You said
it's about a year and a month.
So how was it? You took the place of Peter, who'd been in the band since I think like 1991.
Yeah.
Was it difficult to come in kind of as the new guy in the band and all the fans? So you and the drummer as well both came in.
Axel Roth, the drummer,
yeah.
has been in the band 2 more years than I've been.
Mm-hmm.
We did a lot of touring with Opeth before, as a lot of people of course know. But for me, on a chemistry level, it was quite easy because I knew all the guys in the band before. When I was still playing in Arch Enemy, we did a Gigan tour together with Megadeth, Dave Mustaine. So I think that helped a lot. It was easy to bond with these guys. Musically, I had to, practice the songs over and over again, but I was a fan of the band before, so I knew what I was getting myself into. But of course, it took a lot of time for me to get into the landscape of the songs.
Sure. Now I read that you felt, with comparison to Arch Enemy, you felt a little more integrated, a little more comfortable. Was that with Opeth? Is that true?
Yeah, well, if you compare it with Arch Enemy, I basically has played Chris Amott's parts. In the end, now looking back at it, because I never played on any records with those guys.
You were on the live DVD, right?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
So all I did with Arch Enemy was touring, which was a great experience for me. I mean, it was the first time I got to tour in America, Australia, and stuff like that. So it was a cool experience, yeah. But with Opeth, what I was going to say is that it's different because I got to do the record before we start touring. That makes you feel much more involved in the band, of course.
Now, you came in, were a lot of the songs written when you came into the band, or
I pretty much came in the beginning of the writing process of the record.
Okay.
So I went over to Michael's house and did a few solos, and we kind of worked on one track together, which we co-wrote, Porcelain Heart.
Co-wrote Porcelain Heart. Was it different working with him, since he's kind of been, I've heard him called the architect of the Opeth sound? Working with him and actually co-writing with him, was that an interesting process, different than?
No, I mean, I wrote a bunch of riffs for this record that I played to Michael. And this particular riff, the intro riff for this song, which is kind of Black Sabbath sounding.
To Porcelain Heart?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That was actually one of my riffs. Maybe this is not good enough. But I played it to Michael via the phone, and he was like, "What the fuck is that? Come over to my house and let's work on it." And we did that. We worked on this song for a day, and I went back home the day after. He called me up. He scrapped the whole song, and he arranged everything. So I think he's of course the pilot of the band. He makes the most important decisions, but it's also a democratic band. He always brings everything up to the table.
Everyone decides on what they like and what they don't like.
Yeah.
So, was it true that I heard that you had met Michael for guitar lessons? Is that true?
Yeah, in a way.
He
asked me. I played in a pub about 5 years ago in Sweden, Stockholm. I was playing King Diamond and Judas Priest covers. I remember. Michael was asking me after I went to this gig, he wanted to take some guitar lessons because he wanted to work on his speed, picking techniques. And we've been talking about that on and off over the years, but nothing really happened until January last year. And he asked me over to his house, and we kind of jammed out, but he pretty much ignored everything I told him. But in the meanwhile, I think he was sort of secretly auditioning me for the band because he was, can you play this Opeth riff? I think
Was that before Peter had left the band, or was it?
Yeah, it was. I don't know what they have been talking about, but it was before I got asked to join the band, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it was right before I was asked to leave Arch Enemy.
Okay. So with the new album Watershed, obviously you weren't on the previous albums, but I've heard two songs. I've heard The Lotus Eater, and I've heard Porcelain Heart, like you said before. How does the rest of the album compare, I guess, to those two songs?
I think every song on the new record is quite, it stands on its own.
Okay.
No songs are like one other.
So it's a very, very, as with previous Opeth albums, it's a very diverse album.
I think it starts off with a quite soft intro song, Coil. And the second track on the record, Heir Apparent, is definitely the most brutal one.
Mm-hmm.
I think some songs on this record are the most brutal that Opeth has done, maybe more technical, faster. But some other stuff is very more, a bit experimental and psychedelic.
Kind of like a 70s kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have many solos on the new album? I know you're a very proficient soloist. So.
It's not drowned in solos. I do a couple of like metal solos, but it's not like overplayed. I think I try to do solos that fits the
More like feel than speed.
Yeah, there's a couple of those old man's type of solos too, and we have a ballad on the record that's I try to play more like Gilmore, Blackmore, that, more Knopfler, that sort of vein, but some fast stuff in it too. But I try to do solos that suit the song.
Okay. Now.